today we are now on quarter 4, week 6 in English 6 with the topic Assessing Credibility of Sources of Information. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to assess credibility of sources of information. Oops! Kids, be attentive and active in listening. Take note of important details in our lesson by writing them on your notebook. Let's start. Everyone and anyone can create content online. Today, it's hard to determine whether an internet resource you find is authentic or not. If you're looking for factual resources, search through newspaper publications, TV news, journals, official pamphlets, books, and magazines. But nowadays, people opt to search information on the internet. They tend to believe anything posted on the internet without even checking for credibility. Fake news sites publish incorrect data. People believe these sites because of their persuasive, believable nature. If you're looking for a credible resource, you should avoid hoax sites, as these may affect the accuracy of your study. In choosing information sources such as books, journals, articles, and newspapers, whether in print or electronic, you must evaluate their credibility. This is also true of websites and other types of sources, including social media, videos, podcasts, etc. Evaluating online resources is an important step in any research process. By assessing the credibility of the sources, young writers like you can produce a research output more effectively and reliable, and accurate sources were used. At the end of our lesson today, you are expected to assess credibility of sources of information. This lesson will surely help you check and validate the reliability and accuracy of the sources you are using, such as books and articles, either print or online. Before we proceed to our lesson, answer the following vocabulary words that will help you to understand better. 1. Blank. It is a noun. False information or propaganda published as if it were authentic news. 2. Blank. It is a noun. False or inaccurate information, especially that which is intended to deceive. 3. Blank. It is a noun, the quality of being trusted and believed in. 4. Blank. It is a noun, the ability to be relied on or depended on as for accuracy, honesty, or achievement. 5. Blank. It is a noun, the condition or quality of being true, correct, or exact. Freedom from error or defect. Now, these are the answers. There are several aspects that you should look for in assessing the credibility of the sources of information. First, who published the content? Authorship. Second, where was it published? Its publication. Third, when was it published? Currency and relevance. And fourth, the truthfulness and integrity of the facts, and that is accuracy. And fifth, how is it written and presented? This time, we are referring to purpose and objectivity. And sixth, and what references are cited in the article? That's links and references. Now, let's explain it one by one. First is the authorship. The author of the content is a concern when considering the eligibility of the content. First of all, the author should be an expert on the subject discussed in the article. He should have the credentials to back up his knowledge of the subject matter. Usually, the information about the author can be found on the website along with the content. The name of the author can be found below the title, on the side of the title or the article, or at the bottom. Sometimes, more information on the author is found below the article, also known as an author's bio. An author may be credited if he is oftentimes mentioned in other authoritative websites. So, Ian Morris is the author of I Cover Mobile Internet Services. So, this is an example of authorship. Now, let's go on with the second one. Publication. If the information about the author is not present, the publisher of the resource article can be checked for authority. Take a quick look at the website. Are you familiar with the publication name? Is the publisher reputable and credible on the subject matter? Look at the website name, its logo, the URL of the website, and other indicators that can prove its reliability on the topic. One quick look at the URL can help you determine if it's a reliable source or not. Trustworthy websites end in .org, edu, gov, or any recognizable web address. Another way to check the publisher's site is via its About Us and Contact Us page. These pages will contain information about the publisher. You can counter-check their details by conducting another search. Reliable websites publish content that is relevant or under the same scope of the resource page that you found. Check how often do they publish content and if they published related content as well. News and publication websites such as Inquirer, Rappler, the Philippine Star, and many more are authority sites for facts. Consider the resource's credibility if the publisher has mentioned or been mentioned by authority sites. The third one is currency and relevance. In conducting research, the currency and timeliness of data are important in making inferences for data gathering and analysis. Information changes throughout the years. On the internet, it's easy to get lost among the billions of data available at your fingertips. Even academic articles such as theses and investigative reports can have obsolete data. Out-of-date content has information that is not relevant or applicable in today's time. But how can you determine if the content that you're looking at isn't outdated? How do you check if the data you have is current and timely? Now, look for the date of publication. Oftentimes, it is located near the title of the resource. You can look for the date at the side information of the article and even at the end of the article. So it is very important that you should always look for the date of publication for you to be able to know if the data you have is updated or not. Next is accuracy. In writing, accuracy refers to a writer's correctness in using the language system. This means that the writer's use of grammar and vocabulary should be correct and as good as it could be. Minimal errors are virtually present in all kinds of publications, but poor spelling and grammar can easily reflect how careless an author is, and this may result in distrust. Again, web resources are prone to technical errors, since not all web publications go under the scrutinizing eye of a copy editor. Accuracy also refers to whether an online resource is correct with its facts. Online resources can be verified easily through a quick search on the internet. Other resources provide a reference list that can help in double-checking facts cited in the article. Next, we have the links and references. Links are used for citing and to credit references found on other websites. Links used on the content should be useful and relevant to the topic of the content. Make sure you only link to timely, relevant content, meaning link to the sites from the first page of the relevant SERPs and perform a yearly link audit to check if the content is still relevant. For example, if the links within the content proceed to a 404 page or not found, the content may be outdated. Okay? Now, so for our learning task number 1, let's try to assess the credibility of the news about the COVID-19. COVID-19 updates in the Philippines. Use the questions below. So here is the article that you need to read silently. And here are the questions to answer. Okay, so review the evaluation tool presented above. Assess the credibility of the article by answering the questions below. First, who published the content? 2. Where was it published? 3. When was it published? 4. Are the facts from the article accurate? 5. How is it written and presented? 6. Are references and links cited in the article? Now you are ready for the research. We're going to make a study output. The questions in assessing the credibility of the sources of information will help you find reliable and accurate sources while working on your research. Okay, now let's go to learning task number 2. This time, try to look for other resources available to support a research paper for your social media study or class. Third, we have the accuracy. 1. The content is free from spelling errors. 2. The content has been thoroughly edited and reviewed. 3. The content is well written and grammatically correct. 4. The sources indicated on the content is reliable and verified elsewhere. Next, we have the purpose and objectivity. 1. The content serves its purpose. Teach, inform, explain, persuade, etc. 2. The author or publisher is not biased on covering any subject. 3. You understand the content is covered with facts, opinion, or propaganda. 4. The publisher clearly owns responsibility on providing accurate information. Last, we have the links and references. 1. Links on the content are useful and relevant to the topic of the content. 2. Links on the content are not dead or links to a 404 page. 3. References are mentioned by the author. 4. The author cited other sources of information. You have to answer yes or no. Good luck! Now, if you got 3 out of 4 yeses in each aspect, the resource material that you found can be considered credible as reference. Before we move on, let us see what you have learned from your previous activities. This activity will show how well you understand assessing the credibility of the sources of information when doing research tasks. So for directions, fill in the chart with your understanding or what you have learned about our topic. Assessing the credibility of source of information. Assess the credibility of your source of information using authorship and publication, currency and relevance, accuracy, purpose and objectivity, links and references. What are they about? And how can these help you assess the credibility of your source of information? So for the questions, in assessing the credibility of the source of information, it is important to, what do you think is the importance of assessing the credibility of the source of information? Write your answer in the blank. 2. As a young writer, choosing the credible source of information is important because you write your answer in the blank. So this time, let's try to assess the credibility of the article below using the checklist. So please read the article silently and observe the usage of words in the aspects that you need to follow. With the title, DepEd Clarifies Blended Distance Learning Modalities for School Year 2020-2021. So here are the questions. First, the author's information is available on the content or publication. Is it yes or no? 2. The content and information are up to date and relevant. Yes or no? 3. The content is well written and grammatically correct. Yes or no? 4. The content serves its purpose, teach, inform, explain, persuade, etc. Is it yes or no? 5th, the author cited the sources of information. Is it yes or no? Okay, so can this be article considered credible? Why or why not? State your answer in the blank. Thank you for joining today's class. See you on our next lesson. Goodbye!